So maybe he felt empowered, emboldened enough that he was earning his stripes as a head football coach to stand up to his mentor, Bill Belichick. And before they played in the opening game of the following year at the Jets, Eric called him and said, Bill, look, I know what you do. I know you tape the defensive signals. He was there. He was part of the process, right? And he said, don't do it. Just don't do it to me. If you want to do it to anybody else, that's fine. But please don't do it to me. So he had been on the record up front. No hypocrisy here. He said, please don't do it. And Belichick said, yeah, watch this. And basically gave one of his proteges the middle finger. That's what he did. He sure did. Two of them, both of them, all the first half of the game, taped his defensive signals.
Yep.
And when the game was over, Eric, do the right thing, hardworking, play by the rules, Eric Mangini, said, I can't take this anymore. I told him not to do it. I'm going to turn him in. And if you want to say he ratted on his coach, that's fine. But if he did so, he did it the right way. You know, he did it up front. He declared himself before the game, and then he turned in Belichick after the game. And so, again, he doesn't need to regret this, even though I get it that he loves the Kraft family. He loved his time in New England. And I know he still loves Bill Belichick. Absolutely. And he learned so much from him.
Yes.
And he still just savors the time that he spent there, and he loves to talk about the good old days in New England. We get all that. I know he regrets that he burned that bridge to the ground, but he did it for the right reason. I still respect it, and I don't want him to regret it.
Eric Mangini is my hero because it's very seldom do people do that and break ranks to be honest and tell the truth about a situation.
Correct.
So in that situation, I really respect him for being able to do that. My take is he shouldn't regret it because just like Belichick feels like I raised you, I gave you an opportunity, and you turned your back on me and ratted me out, look at it from Mangini's standpoint where he says, I'm one of yours.
Right.
I'm one of your sons. You're the father figure. You mean to tell me you're going to cheat your own? You can't beat me without cheating? And I could see where he said, I can't take it. This is not right. This is a man I love and I respect. I'm one of his. And he's going to do me the way he does other people who he doesn't know or care about, but he cares about me. So I get it. I applaud Eric Mangini. I respect Eric Mangini.
I'm going to take it a step further. In 2007, Roger Goodell sent a memo to all 32 teams because it was getting around that this was going on. And in the memo, it said, if you are taping signals from the sideline, stop it immediately. I repeat, he sent a memo to all 32 teams. If you are taping signals from the sideline, stop it immediately. If you want to tape signals from 100 feet, 200 feet up, have at it. He got the memo. Okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, me and Rob, we used to rob banks. And I say, Rob, you know I'm getting out of the bank. I'm getting out of this. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to open up a bank. I know you rob banks, Rob, but just don't hit your boy.
Don't rob your bank, right?
Hey, Rob,
don't come to my bank.
Rob, just don't hit your boy. Rob say, F you, Shannon. I'm going to hit your bank at noon. So guess what I'm going to do, Skip?
You're good.
911. I like to report a bank robbery that's being processed around noon.
Yeah.
If I tell you, you can go fishing in the lake. Fish on the left side. Don't fish it on the right because fishing on the right is illegal. Skip, why do you care? And Coach Belichick, Mr. Kraft said, Coach Belichick told him it only helped 1%. Considering the games are so close, a 1 point, a 2 point, that 1% is immense.
But Shannon, when they say that, he wouldn't be doing it if it didn't help. So whenever I hear people give a degree of how much it helps or whatever, you wouldn't do it.
Rob,
right?
That's why we study all that tape to try to get tendencies. We want to know. Now the thing is, it started kind of like when I was in Denver, we would get the TV copy because, you know, with the boom mics, we can hear. We were playing the San Diego Chargers, Every time Junior Seau, God rest his soul, every time he said Vegas or Reno, we knew they were going to cover 2. So guess what we were doing? Every time we go to a formation, he hollered Vegas or Reno, we would check and send Shannon down the middle.
Because you knew it was open.
Shannon had 13 catches for $156 and 3 touchdowns.
You remember every down to the last detail.
Exactly.
Wow. You need to let it go, man.
So you mean to tell me, because we knew they were going to Vegas or Reno, we getting certain formations. So you mean to tell me, because he had one group that was taping the same hand signals, the other group was taping the defensive coverages. So we know now when we're in this formation, and that's what that means. So think about this. The reason why a defensive player has a headset is because of Spygate. So now Wade Phillips can talk to Brandon Marshall just like Josh McDaniels can talk to Tom Brady. There's a reason why they bring the footballs in an armored car. They're talking about putting a chip in the football. There was a rule implemented. Coach Belichick was sending guys with an eligible number. Shane Vereen would come into the game with an eligible number, tell the referee, I am ineligible, to try to fool. See, if he does that, the officials are supposed to say 23 is ineligible, 78 is eligible. They didn't do that.
Okay.
So guess what now? You can no longer do that. So all these rules, and see, and what the problem is with the Patriots, what people have, even the owners, when they catch owners, they call Mr. Blank. They say, we hear that you're pumping crowd noise in. He says, you got me. So whatever the penalty is, I'll pay it. They catch the Patriots, they say, prove it.
That's why when you look at Bill Belichick, to me, when I hear people praise him and say he's the greatest coach who ever coached in the NFL and all that, there's no way he can have that claim because of all the stuff that we know about.
Right.
There's so many other things that we don't know, and we know he was fined $500,000 for Spygate. Don't tell me that it doesn't help or didn't help the Patriots.
So why'd you do it?
Right. That's why he did it.
Who does things in what occupation or anything in life? Who does things that doesn't benefit them?
Well, now Eric Mangini says, hey, it had no impact. Now that I look back on it, all I know is it was against the rules for a reason. Now, in perspective, Rob and I have covered a lot of baseball. In baseball, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's
Right.
the old saying, right?
Yes.
And so they're constantly trying to steal signals, and they would laugh at this rule. But there was a reason this rule is in place, because you could tape the defensive signals and then go in at halftime to decipher. And the competition committee agreed, this is no good for our game. Let's at least outlaw, as you said, the field level taping.
Exactly.
Because the other way is harder to get a read
Right.
on the signals.
Right.
So I'm good with the rule. I'm good with what Eric did. And my problem with Bill Belichick, he is obviously a great coach. You and I go back and forth on who gets more credit between Brady and Belichick, and I say 75-25. But I can't go greatest coach of all time for Belichick because of all of this. And I'm going to bring this up, even though it might be unfair, but there were lots of accusations from the St. Louis Rams and then the Carolina Panthers off those first 2 Super Bowls that they were videotaped at their walkthrough the night before the Super Bowl. And they have alleged it publicly, both of them, never proven, just for the record. But those kind of things are out there, and it always baffles me that a guy who we can certainly debate, he belongs in the sentence with the greatest coaches ever. If you want to throw in Lombardi and Landry and Walsh, whoever you want to put in your
But you
list.
do have to take a look. It's tainted. The Patriots
Okay,
run.
but why would
Belichick
the
is
greatest
tainted.
coach, quote unquote, greatest coach ever, why would he have to stoop to any of these things to gain that edge? That's like rampant insecurity. If you're that great, you'll just say, I'll figure it out. I can beat you within the rules. I don't need to cheat or even bend the rule.
And we know this was taught in New England because Josh McDaniels lost his job in Denver for doing the same thing. He tried to tape the 49ers in London, and he got caught.
remember that.
And Mr. B said, look, you got to go.
That's true. That's a good point.
You got to go because my reputation means more to me than Super Bowls.
But that's because the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And that was it. And Eric was trying to do it on a legitimate, upfront. He wanted to, like you were saying, Skip, he's that guy who believes in all the goodness and things are good, and I'm going to do it the right way. Even though Belichick gave me an opportunity and I know what they're doing, I want to do it my way and prove that I can coach football and win games, but you can't beat him.
If you a teacher boy, I already know what you do to somebody.
Right.
There's definitely one group of people that doesn't care about any of this, and that's Patriots fans.
Oh, my God. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about.
They live a good life. They have benefited from this.